Hello guys, so today I want to show you how I made this little key holder out of denim and clay and a scrap piece of wood. Let's get started. Okay guys, so this is just a piece of wood of an old project that I used the back of. I just painted it with some white chalk paint to prime it, and this is a silicone mold that I bought on Wish. It's actually used for cakes, but they work very well. And I've got some air dry clay. That is a little bit old, so I'm adding some water. And all you need to do is basically make sure your clay is nice and malleable, and then stick it into the mold. And I'm just using a palette knife to cut off the excess. These molds are quite soft, so let's just make sure they stay flat. Cut off the excess like that. It's nice and smooth. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it out and we're going to stick it onto our project with some, really the glue I'm using is just normal wood glue. I find it works the best, and it adds a little bit of glue to the project, and then take it out of the mold and stick it on. So this we're now going to leave to dry. I would suggest that you leave to dry overnight at least, so you make sure that the clay is very dry, and it will stick to your project perfectly. One thing I did learn is you need to be careful of, it would be better if you put a full piece of clay in, not like I'm putting little bits in here. It's better to roll out a piece of clay in a long strip and then put it in, because there, exactly where I'm adding a little bit more there, it actually cracked, and you can see the crack on the project. Although it didn't bother me, I just worked with it, but yeah, it's better to use one long strip of clay in a long mold like this. Use one piece. Yeah, and then all I did is basically put this around the entire edge of the project, and I just made the sides overlap each other so it looks like plaited yarn or rope, and I just made it go over the other side. And there it is. Perfect, nice edging, and this is next morning, all nice and dry, and that's where it cracked. See, both those places it cracked. So you can actually go in now and take some extra clay and fill up that crack if you want to. I actually did it with the one side, and it works pretty well. I just filled it in and took a pen and mimicked the same pattern, and now I'm just going to paint it with a dark color. I like to put a dark color at the base. Usually I do brown, but you can do grey or black, any color you want, because that's kind of what gives it the shadow. And then I'm just basically taking off the excess, and you can already see it gives you a nice effect where the dark color sits into in the little crevices and cracks of your molded clay border. So yeah, just carry on painting it, and make sure you get into all the little areas nicely, so you cover all the little deep pieces. And again, just rub it off. I use a wet wipe. I find it's the easiest way. Wet wipes aren't for babies, they're for crafting. They work like a bomb. And yeah, that's it. So that's my first layer done. just rubbing off a little bit more. And then I painted it blue, and I forgot to hit record. Sorry about that. So I did exactly the same with a dark blue, and now I'm just going over it with a light blue. So I like to work in layers because then you get away from that flat look. And there's the light blue, and then eventually I'll put white on as well, you know. So you just layer the different colors starting from the darkest and going light. So just painting the edges there. Oh, and it's already looking quite nicely. I like how the wood is shining through from the bottom while I rubbed it all off. Sometimes these little mistakes actually adds to the project very nicely. I just rubbed too hard and the wood started coming through from the bottom, so I quite like that. And now I'm just dry brushing with white now. And yeah, so with every layer that you add lighter and lighter, it actually makes it pop more and makes it look, gives it more depth. And I just carry on adding more whites, and with every layer it just gets better. So now I decided to decorate this with some little handmade fabric roses. These are made out of denim. I think I'll load another full video on how to make these. They're actually quite easy to make, you just roll it. But I'm going to make a couple of extra ones. I made these very long ago, so finally using them for something. And then I'm just going to add a couple of small ones, so you'll get a good idea of how they're made just by watching me make these small ones. So I wanted to add a little bit darker ones. So I took a piece of dark denim. So I just keep all my kids' old jeans, and I use that. And this is just a piece of curtain material that I used, and I used that to just stick on the back. And there's another piece of denim that I'm cutting off my son's old that I kept. And so the white piece of, it's just like a netty like a net look material. It's like almost like lace curtains that I just bought from the material shop, and they fray quite nicely, which is also why I like to put them just at the back of the little roses. So now for the roses, you kind of going to start by rolling it. And what you want to do is you want to have your heat gun ready, and you are just going to roll it and stick it, and roll it and stick it. Like I said, I'll do a video more in detail on how to make these. It's really not that hard. Once you get the trick of it, it's actually quite easy. And you'll be careful of burning your fingers. Burnt lots of fingers making these. And basically what you want to do is you want to roll your material forward, twist it forward and stick it around. That's basically what you do. So yeah, I'm twisting it forward and sticking it, twisting it forward. And you don't have to put glue on every single piece. You can put it on every round if you want to. So twisting it forward, sticking it down. Twisting it forward, sticking it down. And obviously you can make these look quite perfect and quite pretty if you use the right material. And that's not the look I'm going for here. I want it to be a little bit frayed, and you know, it's denim, so you know, I'm not going for the perfect look. But like I said, I'll add another video on how to make those. There's actually lots of videos on how to make them online as well. And then the last little bit, you can almost just put some glue in and tuck it into the bottom of the rose, like that. And yeah, just hold it until the glue is nice and dry. just adding some more glue to stick in those little edges. Yep, don't burn your fingers. And that's about it. Just cut off any excess pieces you don't like, especially at the bottom. And that's it. And these little white knitted cloth, will just twist and fold it, so you just want it to be pointy, to stick out from underneath your rows. So I just fold them to make like 2 points and put some hot glue on and stick them randomly at the bottom. And this is also where obviously the glue seeps through this material, so be careful of burning. Sorry, my hands going off camera there. I lose concentration sometimes, I forget about the camera. So yeah, you just carry on sticking all of them at the bottom and fry them. You can fry a lot, you don't have to fry them at all if you don't want to. I like them a little bit fried, and I decided to just break the glue a bit, putting a piece of burlap at the bottom of all the roses, and also just frying them, and they obviously fry quite nicely. So, but it's also important then to stick them down properly because they will carry on frying. So I just cut it in a couple of pieces, and I think it breaks the blue a bit. It's not so just blue. The brown just adds a little bit of something to it. And then just position the roses the way I want it and stick them down. Obviously the little leaves I made on the big rose is also just denim that I fried. Just cut it into the shape you want it and fry the edges. And now I'm just sticking a little bit more of the white underneath the rose and getting rid of all my glue gun strings. Oh, and that's the roses stuck down. I think it looks quite nice. That's it. And I decided to add one more little rose or little bud, and I took the belt or the piece of your denim with your belt would go through. I took one of those and I literally just rolled it up. I didn't do much to this one. I just felt like there was a little bit of a spot that I needed to fill. So I'm just making a little bit of a swirl and make sure the end is nice and secure. And burn your fingers again. See how red they are. So I just added another piece of the white fabric, and then I'm going to stick my little bud on top of it. That's it. Happiness, I think. Happy with the way it came out. I wanted to leave it like this and just put the little hooks on for my key rings, but my husband was like, no, it needed something, and you'll see later on I'll add some text to it. all I want to do now is just add a little bit more shadow or depth, if you want to call it that, and just finish it off a bit with some darker paint. So what I'm using here is just some dark blue, and just finishing off the edges. And you'll see I'm not doing it perfectly. I always believe that if you work too perfect, then it it just makes your project so much harder. So I like the rustic look. I like to not make it too perfect. I'm just adding a little bit of this dark blue around the edges. It looks silver in that container. Don't ask me why. Must be the reflection of the light, but it's not. And then I probably should have sealed it before I stuck my roses down, but I forgot. I like to use this polywood armor to seal my projects with. It works on everything and it's amazing. I know Granny B also sells a similar project. It's called Armor, and it's very nice. I think they work about exactly the same, but it's very nice product. It takes 3 days to cure, but it takes very quick to dry, and it's water based. It's very nice sealant. You can even seal mosaic projects with it that's going to be outside. It's very well worth it. I think they're about 250 rand for that size container, but it lasts forever. I've had this for about 2 years. So I decided to put some rub-on transfers on the open area there. I just put the word cherish and some doodles and just to fill up the space. And I forgot to hit record, so sorry guys, you won't see me rub it on, but I'll show you the finished project. So there you can see the transfer on. There's some close-up photos of it on my wall. Hope you enjoyed it guys, and let me know if you want to see more of similar projects. Like, subscribe, do all those nice things, and have a lovely day. Bye for now.